All right, it's saying that we are live. I can't tell where we are live at. I can't tell who is on here, but hopefully you all can hear me okay. I'm going to do a check on the channel to make sure I got some sound. That I can't tell. Oh, the sound is working. It's been a while since we've been live, guys, but hello, hello, hello. Welcome. The title is not clickbait. I have 4 books in the new Soap Makers Cookbook series. One of them is currently available in audiobook format. However, I do need them all in ebook format so that I can make them available on the new website that I'm building out. And I figured as I was going through this, many of you may already be published authors or are thinking about publishing your books, and you're wondering how can you get it available in an ebook or a PDF format. So I figured it would be a really good live stream to show you all how I am going about converting. And it's probably a much faster way to do this, but we're doing it this way so that I can see what I need to see, and then probably improve it from there. So the very first book that we're going to be converting is the new Soap Makers Cookbook, Ingredients for Success. And this was the very first book that I wrote, and it was published in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 years ago is when I officially became a published author. And so it's been selling on Amazon and on my website. I either sell it as a cookbook bundle or you can get them individually. But there's 4 books in this series and there's one more coming. I've been saying that for a while. The outline is done. The first 10 chapters are done. But then I have to find time in juggling mommyhood and other business stuff in order to make it possible for me to finish that book. But in the interim, all of these books, there is no reason why your books are not in 3 or 4 formats, actually. One is paperback. That's pretty simple. You can sell it on Amazon. You can sell it on all kinds of platforms. So having a paperback book is the lowest barrier to entry. But the barrier to entry before that could be publishing your books in ebook format. So ebooks are typically much shorter, much smaller, but it makes it easier for people to get it and download it right on their devices without having to pay for shipping and all of that good goo, right? And then there is also hardback books. Now, as I have been working with more and more libraries, I am finding that they want hardback books. So I'm also converting them. Hey, Marnice. I'm also converting them to hardback books so that they can be available within the libraries. And that's because if you think about it, libraries are constantly sending your books out. And so a paperback book is not going to withstand that. So having your book in a hardback version is good as well. And then, of course, I listen to a ton of audiobooks on Audible. And so converting them to audiobooks is also a great thing. So right now I am getting set up to at least have them all in ebook format, paperback format, hardcover format, and then audio format. So all 4 versions. And I see that that is actually Drea from Vegas. How are you? I am so sorry. I'm on my husband's account. Yeah, I should have known that. When I saw Marnice, I was like, that person's too familiar. It can't be a Marnice because I don't know that name, but I do know Drea. Hello, Drea. I'm sitting here tanned and everything. We just got back from vacation, which was amazing. But now I have to get back to work for. That's the one thing. Even in corporate, it was great to go on vacation, but then it's the coming back from vacation that's like, oh man, you got these emails, these projects you put on hold. They don't go anywhere, right? They're still waiting for you when you come back. So I'm going to share my screen in Canva. Canva is available. You can get it for free. I say it is worth every bit of the $12.99 a month if you are going to be creating any type of content online. You can use it to create your shorts, your reels, your social media postings, your ebooks, your paperback books, um, and all of that. So consider that. And I feel like I may not have to do this because I feel like in 2017, I actually put this in Canva so that I could upload it to Amazon KDP. But I don't think it looks good. But let me share my screen because it was just for it to be in print. If somebody's going to be reading it on a device, I want them to enjoy the experience. So let me go ahead and add Canva to the stream, and hopefully you all can see that okay. And you guys don't necessarily need to see me. So let's go solo mode. All right. Oh, but if you can't, I don't know. Can you all still hear me? I don't know. Drea, can you still hear me if my camera isn't on the screen? You should, because I just muted myself and then unmuted. So hopefully you can hear me. Let me turn this on so I can see. I just muted myself and then yeah, it works. Okay, perfect. All right, so now over here, I have grabbed the cover of the ebook and then I just put ebook on the top of it so that when I go to put it in my online store, people are clear that this is the ebook version and not the paperback or the hardcover or the audiobook. I seen it. Let me see. Everyone looked so relaxed and enjoying themselves. The beach, the Bahamas, it was amazing. Everybody must go at some point, right? All right, so if I scroll down, I don't need these, but I'm using a template to get started with the formatting. And so I did an initial search. And what I did was I took the inside of what I have. So, of course, I have my copyright. And that's when I saw, oh my gosh, it was 2017 when I first published this book. Then typically you have an About Me section. This was the original About Me section. It has changed quite a bit. And now, the next page that I have in here is the dedication as well as why I wrote this book. So I'm going to go ahead and just start typing this out, and I will turn our tunes back on so maybe you can relax and see this. But if you are somebody who wants to self-publish a book, consider using something like Canva to get yourself occupied, or organized, I should say. I don't know. How can I? Yes, I can hear you. Oh, I don't know how to. It's letting me reply. Will this work? Hello? This is why you can't stay away so long. Oh, there we go. I set it as a banner. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. And this is already formatted from the template that I grabbed right from Canva. So it looks nicer than just being a plain white page. And now, of course, whenever you are typing live, you never can get it right. So let's see what we get. And what I'll do is, just so you guys have some nice sound, let's turn this up. All right. All right, I'm going to mute that for just a second and just, I missed your chats. Hey, Francis, how are you? How are you doing? Good to see you. So, if you are just joining, I'm seeing that we have 62. I don't know where you're watching from, but it says 62. So, what we're doing is, I need to get all of my paperback books in a ebook format, hardback format, as well as an audio version. Um, I feel like this should already be in Canva, but if you are just coming on, or if you're somebody considering writing a book, I highly recommend Canva because it allows you to kind of design your books in a really nice way so that it becomes really easy for you to then upload it to the different distribution channels like Amazon and all the other ones. And then I do use Amazon. Typically, whenever I can remove this from the stream for a second. Whenever I launch my books, I initially only launch them on my website for like the first 2 to 3 months because that's generally my audience, my tribe, before I send them to Amazon to buy. And the reason for that is Amazon does take a pretty hefty chunk for print on demand, but it's a trade off. When you do print on demand, what happens is you load your books and you don't have to have physical copies at home. When someone places the order, Amazon prints it on demand, ships it, and sells it to the individual and gets it to them at their house. The downside of that is because you didn't make the investment to have the inventory, you don't have printers at home, you can't print your hard covers or soft covers. Amazon takes about 30%. And what happens is 2 months after the sale on Amazon, you do get uh, why is the word a royalty payment for all of the books that you've sold, and then you can also see a report of all of those. Opal May, how are you? I always think of you when I say I live in bright colors or I love bright colors. But what we're talking about is this possibility. I think everybody has something to share with the world. I don't know what it is. Everybody has a unique gift, skill, talent, or ability. And mine just so happened to be soap making and tech. I don't know how the two ended up working together, but that's my thing. Could I use it for writing patterns? Absolutely, Miss Francis. They even have low content, no content books where it's just kind of like planners or journals where it's an empty book, but maybe you're an artist, Miss Francis, right? So maybe you have covers that you can design for notebooks or planners. But yes, you could use it for patterns as well. I'm not sure. You may want to look at it because I would think with patterns, people need to cut that out. So you would need a perforated book. And I'm not sure that Amazon has that. Sometimes you want like the spiral bound books, and that makes it easier or harder depending on the platform. So, what I'm doing now for any of you that are just joining, first of all, my name is Zakia Ringgold of Live Soap School by Zakia, Business Tech Lab, and Virtual Experience Design Agency. Levi is here. Levi, don't worry, you will not have to repurpose this video. Levi, I don't know. He's going by Levi, so I'm going to call him Levi, but I know who he really is, right? And I think that's his YouTube name, but he comes here, he helps out all of the reels that I've been posting. He's an amazing, smart, energetic, detail oriented kid, and he's helping me to get all of my content so that I don't have to do a million and one jobs. So I really, really appreciate you, Levi, but thank you for being here. And so, what we're talking about is the benefits of using Canva specifically. So you could, and my process when I'm writing is very simple. I start with an outline of what is it that I want to have covered by the end of this book. So if someone were to finish this book, What should they walk away with? And then I reverse engineer that and I create an outline. Then I go into Google Sheets and I type each one of those chapters from the outline. I'm not creating a novel. There's like no character development. I am doing a nonfiction book. And I am a no fluff kind of person. And I say that in all of my books, you are not going to get books that are that thick from me. And the reason why, and this might be helpful for somebody who's on the fence about self publishing their own book. The reason why all of my books were so short is if I had set out to do the novella of soap making, I would have never gotten it done. So I said, let me break it down into smaller pieces because that's manageable. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so what I did was I started out by doing the new Soap Makers Cookbook, Ingredients for Success. That was the very first book, and that was just seeing if I could do it, seeing if I could write the book. And that one was really a mindset book. That book was all about the mindset that you had to have in order to be successful in your craft of soap making. Now, even if, and I'm going to say this a billion times, even if you are someone who doesn't make soap, that book, the first 10 chapters are all about the mindset of why it's important for you in whatever given thing. So you can take soap out of the title and it would apply. Marlene is here. Natasha is here. Hi, ladies. For some reason, your comments aren't coming up here. I had to pull you up on Facebook so that I could see you, but I'm glad you're here watching. And so that was the premise behind the new Soap Makers Cookbook, Ingredients for Success. I would have students that would take classes. This is when Live Soap School was just getting started. It was very popular, lots of students in there, and they would all run up against similar challenges in terms of, I know how to make this product, but I'm scared to sell it. I brought all these ingredients, but I'm scared to move forward. And so I had broken that down into the ingredients that I wish someone would have told me and some of the frequent things that I would find myself saying to those students. Then the next book in the series is Ingredients for Success was first. Then we did cold process soap. That was my jam. That is the soap that I started with. And I find that to be very similar, right? In soap making with your cell phones, if you started with an Android, you probably love Android. If you started with an iPhone, you probably love iPhone. Team Apple all day, every day. I have tried to switch over to the Android and my life just isn't the same without it. So we are Team Apple all day, every day. We got the iMac, MacBook, iPad, iPhone, iWatch. It's all one whole ecosystem. So, they got everything on me. And then we did the new vegan soap cookbook. At the time, most books, every book, and I have read 70 books on soap making, every single one was completely about using animal products. They would talk about lard or they would talk about beef tallow, silk, all these different things. And from the beginning, all of my soaps were 100% plant-based. So I saw just another little niche, another little area of the vegan soap cookbook, making plant-based soap from scratch. And then the last book in the series is How to Make and Sell Soap. And that's answers to the top 50 questions that come up when people are starting their soap making journey and considering going from a hobby to a business. And so now I'm at the point where, okay, you have these books, but why can't people get them electronically, right? None of them are available in ebook format. And I did that intentionally because I was like, well, people are just going to get it, download it, and spread it out to the world. But the real intention behind this is to open up soap making to more people who don't have it available to them. And so as I was sitting down to start converting this to an ebook, I said, there are probably other people out there that, number one, are ready to write a book. Number two, have the whole book written, but don't know what to do with it to get it started. Or number three, I haven't been live in a minute, so it would be a good live stream, right? And so I said, why not show you all how I go into Canva? And I highly recommend Canva. There is a free version if you don't want to pay, but the only thing about the free version is you don't have folders. There is a whole library of free images and elements that you can use, but if you have the free version, you can't use those elements. So this really helps when I am creating postings for social media, things that I need for the website, any kind of graphics, and then also just placeholders for when I'm doing the books and stuff now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to are there any questions on what we're doing or why we're doing it? And I'm probably just going to do the chapters because I feel like all of these books are already in Canva, but I have to remain true to what I said we were going to do and do it. So the goal is to convert all 4 books to ebooks, to record the audiobook for the first 3 books because I did have the mindset to go ahead and create the audiobook for the last book, but I didn't do it for the first 3. And then I will also be converting them all to paperback. And then the last book in the natural skincare book is probably going to come out in October of 2023. And that'll be the last book I write on soap and natural skincare. And that one is called My Life in Lather. So it's the whole entrepreneurial journey, leveraging online tools. And then, of course, the middle section of that book is all about natural skincare. Soap, lotions, bath bombs, sugar scrubs, and herbal tinctures are all included in this one. I should call it my soap making Bible, but the Lord is the only one that can have a Bible. But that's what it'll be. It'll be My Life in Lather, and that'll be in October. And that one, once that one comes out, all of the paperback versions will come off of Amazon. They won't be available because I'm going to include all 4 of those books within My Life in Lather. So it'll be like one comprehensive, huge. That one book that I said I didn't want to write, that really large one, that's what this last book will be. Are there any questions before I keep going? Because I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the table of contents so you can see how that goes. I'm going to keep Facebook open on my phone here because, Facebook in the live stream guides are being a little strange. They're not showing me your stuff, but that's all right. So let's go ahead and add this. So what we've done so far is we have the ebook. I just put ebook on the front because remember, this is going to be sold on my website. And I need people to be very clear that this is the ebook version versus the paperback version of the book. And that's why the cost is lower because I'm not shipping anything. There's none of that, right? And then the copyright information, make sure you include a copyright statement in any books that you publish so people are very clear that you own the rights to this. You can also, all of my books are in the copyright office as well. So you can look me up there and you'll find the new Soap Makers Cookbook. And again, me seeing this 2017 was like, wow, it has been one heck of a journey. All right, and so now we have the table of contents. Now, remember what I was saying about the pro version. The pro version of Canva allows you to grab different pictures. So if I go over here and I go to photos, I can type in soap, right? And it gives me a bunch of images of soap that I can then pull right into this template. So the ingredients for success book is broken up into 3 parts, which are, of course, the ingredients, frequently asked questions, and then basic cold process soap recipes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate this so that the text is consistent throughout. So what I'll do is I'll just highlight one of these, duplicate it, bring it down, duplicate it, bring it down. Wait, how many sections do I have in that part? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 10. So there's 10 sections and ingredients. So I need 10 of these. Oh shoot. 1, 2, 3. And can you guys see that okay? I'm hoping you can. If I make that smaller, that'll make this bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's duplicate it. 5. And then it also has like these little lines so that you can keep everything aligned together. And I try to format first and then come back and update the actual content. So I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then my frequently asked questions is the next section, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want that to line up with those. And the text that's here now came from the template that I chose. And then the last section is basic cold. Look how it's doing that. Process soap. So what we do is we just drag it over to make this box larger. And we can make the font smaller. So I just highlight it. Wait, what is this font size? That's 28. So we want this to be 28 and we want that to line up with that. So we're using those spacers. And that has 1, 2, 3. So I'll bring this and let's duplicate it. Oh, that lined up perfectly. Okay. And then we have final thoughts for new soap makers and staying connected. I don't need this. And duplicate. I also have an about the author in the paperback one, but I have that at the top of the book. All right, so now we'll go back in and we'll just fill in what those chapters are. So this is why I highly recommend that you do your outline first. Maybe type the content up in Google Sheets, Microsoft Word, whatever you use for your word processor, and then it becomes very easy to copy and paste it over. Once you get into Canva, it should just be about laying the content out, not creating the content for the first time. So start with the end in mind. I don't know who that guy is who said it, but that was in a book with 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'm about to say Covey, but I don't know if that's right. So whoever said that, it's very true. So the ingredients are know your why. The second ingredient is to decide early, hobby or business. Third ingredient, commit. You can never type when you're live streaming. I'm telling you that right now. So if any of you are considering typing while you're live streaming, think again. It always makes you look like you can't spell, you can't write, all of that. And now I'm just filling in. And I'm only going to do this one, and then I'm going to actually search my Canva documents because I believe that all of these are actually already in Canva. I just need to make them nicer. Because as you can see in the book, you can't really see that. It's just text. But if somebody is downloading this, you kind of want it to look a little bit nicer. So if I already have it typed out within Canva, it'll be much easier to just apply a template to it instead of typing it from scratch. And I know I had to because I used Canva to size it correctly so that I could then upload it to Amazon KDP. So where we at? Patience is a virtue. Inspiration is all. And then I'll do the page numbers after I have the remainder of the book filled in. All right, so while I'm typing that, I'll give you guys some more music. I don't know if you hate it, if you love it, but it's a little awkward for me to not be saying anything. And that's it. Okay. So there's the music. We can turn the music off. So we now have the table of contents written out. So we have the cover, which we got from the original book. Then we got the copyright statement. Notice how I don't have any page numbers on here because I do the page numbers last. In Canva, it doesn't have like Microsoft Word where it'll automatically number the pages. So that is the very last thing that I do. And then I fill in the table of contents with the page numbers that the different chapters are on. And then we have the table of contents here. I have it also open on my laptop, which is why you're seeing ZR, my initials there. So multiple people can work on the same document as well. So if you have people on your team, you can have them work on it with you. And then the beauty of using templates, I love the way this is written. So I'll keep that and then I will just switch out this picture. I'll show you that now. And so let's go to photos and we'll call this inspiration. So we want a picture on inspiration. And since this is chapter 1, no. And then I would fill in the text of what goes here. And then I have to update this. And then what I'll eventually do is I'll have page and then whatever the page number is once we have that squared away. All right, so now let's go back home here. I think that I have ingredients for success. No, I need my projects. Yeah, I have the how to make and sell soap, so I won't have to do much for this one. So here is so I'll show you guys that one. It would have been an old one. Hmm. I'll have to look for it. That's just an image, but these are the only documents I have. All right, so let me open this. All right, so this is the How to Make and Sell Soap. This was the last book in the series. And what I did was I formatted it here in Canva using the correct sizing. So now I won't have to do all that I'm doing now for the first book because I already have it in something that can be downloaded as a PDF. So it has all of the different sections in there. It's already formatted, it has the page numbers, and it has the answers to the questions. So this one is ready to go, right? So I can go ahead and update the site with what we need here. All right, so that's what I have. Now I just want to check one thing on the website and see if our live stream is showing up. It is, but it's a little grainy. I don't like that. Can I adjust the, well, it is in high definition, but it doesn't show it. You guys can't see what I see, but let me show you all. So I'm working on the academy for Live Soap School. So let me stop this share. And I can do any questions. Did I miss anything? Let me come back to comments. Miss Francis says that's a much easier. Oh, that's a much. I'm adding words in there. That's much easier than the way I've written ebooks in Microsoft over the years. I'm getting this for sure. Yeah, Canva, you cannot. I mean, it just works. Like they knew what they were doing. Like they said, oh, we have a lot of folks that are creating content, and you can create all kinds of things. You can create ebooks, posters, flyers, banners for your websites, all of those things you can do with Canva. They also have a video editor in there now, so you can edit videos and all of that other stuff, which is phenomenal. So, I was going to show you guys the site, but it's looking a little weird. Oh, no, it's fine now. All right, so I can share this with you. Live streams are embedded on the website as well. So if I come over here, this same live stream that we're doing is available right on the website. So if people are not on the social media, although that's looking a little, maybe I'm doing too much because I'm live streaming and trying to watch my live stream. But people can chat from here and all of that, which is good. So that's what I got for you all. I am so, so happy. I'm definitely going. Your books all look so great. I'm definitely going back through my patterns and redo them now. Guess I need to finish the rest of my sewing. Yes. I don't know why you don't have a sewing academy, Miss Francis. Your books all look so great. I have them all. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for that. I don't need that share anymore. So let's remove that one. Okay. So I will go ahead and get the ebooks done. Then I will come back and I will show you how I am recording the audiobooks to go along with them. And then last but not least, converting them to hardcover. As I'm saying that out loud, it feels like a whole lot of work to do when they're all going to be coming out of print instead of just focusing on the last book. So put in a 1 if you think I should just focus on the last book, download the ebooks that I have, and then just, if time allows itself, because if I'm going to remove them completely out of circulation, there's no point in, well, the ebooks should always be available because maybe somebody doesn't want. The reason I even wrote the books, I'm going to tell you my beginner soap maker story. When I feel like I say that a lot, back in my day, but there are people who've been making soap much longer than I have, right? I don't have a sewing academy because when not sewing, I'm painting. No time left. I hear you. I hear you. So when I first got started making soap, I went to YouTube University. Then I went to every soap making gathering, meetup, and conference that I could find. I then read every single, if the title of the book had soap in it, I purchased it and I brought it, I devoured it. And all of them kind of repeated the same information. And after I read those books, I said, they did not need to do all that. And it's similar when you're watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and I felt like many of them were creating these voluminous pieces and bodies of work just to make that finish line that much further away. Now there is a lot. There's a lot to the chemistry, there's the science and all of that, but you don't need all of that to make soap. My girl Marlene, what did she say? Soap is nothing but oil, water, and lye. Everything that you add on top of that is because you're doing that because of what it is that you want to make. Um, and then you kind of want to experiment. Like, we're crafty, creative people, and that's what we're after. And what I have found, and if I would have not been as intrigued by it, I would have been put off by those books and those videos. So I set out to create books that were very easy to digest, no fluff, nothing like these existed when I started writing the soap making books. They were all about that thick, filled with about that much fluff and that much actual information that you need to actually get started with making soap. So I intentionally said, okay, I'm going to make a very small book that covers just a particular topic. I'm going to create another that covers this particular topic. And then it just kept progressing based on what I was experiencing as a soap maker, and then as an instructor in live soap school, and from the emails that people would send after they were going through the books or the classes. And so I'm sharing that to say the whole publishing thing, depending on the kind of book that you would like to write, it doesn't need to be this Olympic kind of thing. Start small with what you have and go ahead and click publish. Definitely get an editor. I am a member of an organization called Literacy Nation, which is run by Richard Ashby, which is all about empowering independent authors. And one thing is, you do want to get it professionally edited, which I did not. This last book will be professionally edited, and all of that. But there is a lot of opportunity when you publish your book. Your book becomes a business card for other opportunities aside from whatever that thing is. So if there are additional lessons that you have, things that you learned along the way that can be applied in other areas, maybe in leadership, maybe in parenting, maybe in teaching, maybe in painting and sewing and soap making. There are so many lessons in that aside from the thing. And as long as you are able to clearly convey that, you will probably find those people who are interested in what it is that you have to share. Um, I found a niche in that I didn't want to read books that thick. I didn't think I needed that much information in order to be able to make a product. And so I created what was not there. You can do the same thing with whatever it is that you have at your disposal. And with the tools that are out here, including blogging tools, video tools, image tools. You can record your audiobook on your phone. You can create your books in Canva and Google and all of those things. There is no reason, if you can post on Facebook. This was one of my very early mentors who told me this before I knew anything about selling anything online. He said, if you can post on Facebook, you can have a business. And it became very, very true. So if you can post on Facebook, I'm telling you that you can publish a book. And don't think that what you have to say is too small, is not valid enough. You have something that somebody can learn from, even if it's your children. or your family. It's a legacy that you can pass down to other people. Use the tools and all that good stuff. Make sure that you are subscribed. You like the video. I probably should have opened with that. Facebook and YouTube, they like to hear you say that at the beginning and not so, because nobody stuck around this long, right? We're at 48 minutes. Time to cut it, cut it, cut it. But I am Zakia Ringgold of Live Soap School by Zakia, Business Tech Lab, Virtual Experience Design Agency, and Move Backstage, where it is so much more than soap. And I'm hoping that you all will go ahead and click not just the go live button, but the publish button. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Oh no, this didn't record. All right, so they said to make sure I end this correctly, stream in session.